Well, we have all been watching events in Cairo, wondering whether after almost 30 years of rule, Hosni Mubarak might be forced out. Peter Turnley, a photojournalist and colleague who told us it not only brings back memories of Mubarak's rule, it makes him think of all of the strong men like him that he's photographed over the years, all the uprisings, all the turmoil he's witnessed.
What has come to my mind as I have been witnessing these events unfold is that I had a photo session, a one-on-one photo session with Mubarak all the way back in 1986. This was 25 years ago, and he has now been in power for 30 years. Watching these events unfold, it has occurred to me the quantity of popular revolts against authoritarian leaders, Ceausescu, Erich Honecker, Assad, Khomeini in Iran, Saddam Hussein in Iraq, Cedras of Haiti, Baby Doc Duvalier, Fidel Castro, and the list goes on and on. I first met Ceausescu in 1989. I had a photo session for a cover of Newsweek in August of 1989 at Ceausescu's summer house. It was one of the most surreal experiences of my career. I pushed him around for an hour and a half in a photo session where he literally obeyed me almost like a child. 4 months later, I found myself in his own personal office in the presidential palace in Bucharest watching a television where Ceausescu's dead face was looking up at the screen in his own office on his own set. I recall very vividly that in 1989, I photographed Honecker standing next to Gorbachev on a reviewing stand during the 50th anniversary of the East German state. They both were laughing, chatting leisurely. No one could have known that very night in East Berlin, there were huge riots and protests by Molotov cocktail throwing young people against the Stasi, which was the beginning of the end of the East German regime, which folded with the fall of the Berlin Wall only several months later. I have also experienced popular revolts that started with much passion, much enthusiasm, such as the Tiananmen Square uprising in China that was a very moving uprising of literally millions of young people that simply were expressing a desire for a better life. That revolt, though, ended being crushed by military hardware when Chinese troops came into Tiananmen Square, as we all know. And the consequences of that uprising, I think, are still yet not known today, this many years later. As Mubarak was turning to walk into the presidential palace, I simply called out to him and I said, President Mubarak, my name is Peter Turnley. I'm trying to do a photo session for Newsweek. He turned and he said to me, when would you like to do it? And I said, right now. And he said, let's go. He chose to take a stance where his hands were folded and crossed in front of him. And it was a rather proud, strong, and possibly somewhat defiant look. It has often seemed extremely surreal that some of the world leaders I've photographed, notorious for the iron-fisted manner in which they have held power, have been quite cooperative during a one-on-one photo session. What matters most is how they will be judged by their own people and by history for the manner in which they have wielded power and for how their regimes have impacted the lives of the citizens of their country.